in this video, I'm going to show you how to escape the rat race. And I'm also going to show you how to study Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you why you need to go study Bitcoin. So the main reason why you need to go study Bitcoin actually is because of this right here. The majority of us are working for a currency that is currently losing value every single year, and none of us know that. Like I didn't know that before. So in order to stop this rat race right here, you need to put your money into something that can beat inflation. If not, you are gonna be doing this forever. Like if you cannot find a way to make money while you sleep, you will die. You will die broke. That is actually a quote from one of the greatest investors of all time, Warren Buffett. So um, now, if you don't know how to study Bitcoin and you are very new to this, this is where I would start. First of all, I want you guys to go on YouTube. It's free. Type in the Bitcoin standard. Um, there is a free audiobook actually. It's about 11 hours and 23 minutes long. Go listen to it. If you don't, then oh well. It's free. So I don't know. I mean, I can't help you. If you don't want to be helped, man, then oh well, it is what it is. Once you're done reading this, I want you to also go on YouTube and type in Professor Barth. He has a history of money class called What is Money? He has like 99 videos. I've listened to every single one of them. And honestly, I think it's the best history class out there that's free. Like this is like this is a must listen to. Like you have to listen to this entire playlist. Like you will learn a lot about the history of money and the history of America. So I highly recommend you to go listen to him. He's a professor at ASU, I believe, and I also bought his book as well. Man, shout out to this guy, man. He helped me out a lot to understand like just money in general. Also, once you're done listening to him, I want you to go on YouTube as well and type in Michael Saylor podcast and just start listening to all his podcasts basically. Like he explains Bitcoin in like an easy way, but also in like a very like like mature, smart, and like educated way. So like go listen to Michael Saylor. He has a few interviews, a few podcasts with a bunch of different people. Also like let's oh, there's the recent one with the PBD podcast. That one was, oh yeah, 7 days ago. Go listen to that one too. He has a few of them, so definitely highly recommended. Also, when you're done with those 3 steps, go on Audible. This one is not going to be free, unfortunately, but go on Audible. Look up The Creature from Jekyll Island. This book is gonna cost you about 24 dollars. It's a pretty long book actually. It's like yeah, it's like I'm still reading it, but this will teach you a lot about how the banks operate and also how the Federal Reserve was created. So highly recommended because you will learn a lot about like the market crashes and like how the Federal Reserve will prioritize bailing out the banks and instead of bailing out the small businesses basically. So highly recommended if you want to learn how our financial system works. So you have 4 things you can do. So go through all these steps and now let me show you why our money is actually losing value. Listen to Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is, I know you guys know who, Beyonce is, who Jay-Z is. You guys need to know who Jerome Powell is. He's the guy that is affecting the prices of your houses. He's the guy who's affecting the prices of your cars. He's the guy who's affecting the prices of affecting your salary. He's affecting the entire, almost responsible for the entire like financial system in America. So you need to know who this guy is and you need to listen to when this guy talks sometimes. So listen to this, right?
Fair to say you simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money. digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency, and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve banks.
So increases the money supply. So basically his job is to print money whenever, the country or the government needs it. So he is the reason why, well, not just him, but like the Federal Reserve is the reason why we have inflation. It's not because, the small businesses are being greedy and they want to charge you more money every single year. It's because the value of the dollar is decreasing, so they need to keep up with inflation. So it's not the businesses' fault. It's the Federal Reserve's fault. So the M2 money supply, actually, I know they tell you that, oh yeah, inflation is only 2 to 3% a year, but the M2 money supply increases at a rate of 6.88% every single year. Well, on average, at a rate of 6.88%. So if you don't put your money into something that's increasing at least 7%, then you are losing money. All right. Now let's switch to Bitcoin real quick, right? Bitcoin, there are only 21 million Bitcoin. And if you were to divide Bitcoin equally to the entire population, everybody would be able to have 0.0026 Bitcoin. Now, I know people say that, oh yeah, Bitcoin is too expensive. It's $93,000 right now. It actually went all the way up to $99,000, almost 100K. And people think that, oh yeah, I'm too late. But like, listen, Bitcoin is a currency. It's like a digital currency that is divisible. You can actually buy fractions of Bitcoin. For example, right now, if everybody on Earth could equally get 0.0026 Bitcoin, okay, I can't give you financial advice, but listen, if I was you right now, just stop this video right now. Go, if you have $250 that you don't need for the next 20 to 30 years, I would highly recommend you go spend $250 and get yourself just at least 0.0026 Bitcoin just to start. And then go read the Bitcoin standard. Go listen to this guy talk about money. Go listen to Michael Saylor talk about a Bitcoin, and also go listen to the creature from Jekyll Island. Once you do all that, then you'll understand why people are like so obsessed with Bitcoin, because basically the US dollar is, I don't want to say crash, but it's worth nothing basically. So definitely look into this. Also, I know a lot of people think that Bitcoin is a scam, but listen to this. BlackRock. I know I know a lot of people don't know what BlackRock is, but basically they basically run the world. These guys own every single company on earth basically. Well, they don't own them, but like they have a majority of like their shares. They own at least a little bit of every single company on the planet. There is a great picture actually that this is how I see BlackRock. They literally have their hands on every single company on this planet. And this man, Larry Fink, he's the guy who's in charge, and he is managing, I think, yes. So as of December 2023, so this one is a little out of date, but like he was managing $11 trillion of asset under management. Okay, I know this number is a little too big for some people to understand. Let me show you a little something. $11 trillion, right? The M2 money supply, which is the total, um the M2 some money supply is the total, it's basically all the money in America, right? It's basically all the money that's circulating in the US. Well, I guess maybe not in the US, like all the money supply that America has. The M2 money supply is currently, oh, where's my mouse? So the M2 money supply is currently at $21 trillion. 21 trillion. BlackRock manages 11 trillion of that money. I mean, like I don't know if like he basically owns half of that money. Like he runs, he has half of the entire circulation. Can you understand how much power this man has? Like he manages half of the entire circulation of money in that America has. Like think about it for a second. Just think about it for a second. Just to like understand how much power this man has. So the reason why I bring up BlackRock is because this right here was an interview that it did. This was 7 years ago, actually. Listen to what he said about cryptocurrency back in, back in the days.
But most importantly, what I think about most of these cryptocurrencies, it just identifies how much money laundering there is being done in the world, how much people are trying to move currencies from one place to another. So I actually believe.
So this was 7 years ago, right? And then also there's another interview about, I think that was like what
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
this was 6 years ago.
No. I mean, we're
And
looking.
listen to
At
this.
some point they might.
Yes.
He was basically saying,
Crypto exposure?
No, I don't.
listen to this part right
It
here.
may be.
Don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
But at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no.
So basically the man asked him, "Hey, don't your client want crypto exposure?" He's like, "No, they don't want any crypto exposure." That was 6 years ago, right? Now listen to him. He went and studied Bitcoin. He did his research, and look at what he said. This was 4 months ago, right? After he's actually, learned everything he needed to know about Bitcoin. Listen to this.
As you know, I was a skeptic. Yes. I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. Right. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and
I think you get it. Basically, he changed his mind. He went and did his research, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I was wrong. This is right." And I'm gonna be honest with you, that was me too. Like back in I think what was it, 2020? Like I was investing in like Shiba Inu coin, Ethereum, Polygon, Cardano. These were the things that I was investing in. I was not like, I was like, those other coins, they make more money than Bitcoin. I don't care about Bitcoin. But like after I've actually studied Bitcoin, I was like, oh, damn, I was wrong. Like Bitcoin really just humbles you down. It's like, oh, it actually fixes a problem that the world has. Like it's not just America that is debasing the currency. This this is not a problem that America has. All the third world countries, they are doing the same thing. All their currencies are losing value. What do you think Zimbabwe has like their currency, $1 American is worth like millions of Zimbabwe dollars. What do you think like Haitian dollar? The Haitian dollar used to be $1. One Haitian dollar used to be worth 20 American dollars at some point. Now it's like, I don't know. I mean, I can look it up real quick. Let me see. Uh so now one US dollar is worth 130 Haitian goods. So, because the Haitian dollar is also losing value, but it's losing value faster than the American dollar. So every currency is losing value because every country is printing money. That's the biggest problem with money right now. Now, let me show you something else. After he said that he studied it, this man went and bought 492,000 bitcoins. Now, let me say that one more time. 492,000 bitcoins. Not $492,000 of Bitcoin. 492,000 1,000 Bitcoins. Multiply that by $93,000 or whatever the price is right now. Do you know how much money this man put into Bitcoin? He was saying that it was a scam like 6, 7 years ago, and now he owns 2.3% of the supply. And I know this number seems small, but like, listen, 2.3% of the supply is a lot. Like right now, individual holds about, well, this one is a little out of date, but individual holds about 57% of the supply. There's about 17% of the Bitcoin lost because people forgot their password and all that. You have Satoshi holds 5% of the Bitcoins, and I think BlackRock is going to get to 5% for sure. There's only 6% left to mine. The government holds about almost 3% of it. And the Bitcoin ETFs, back then, the Bitcoin ETFs hold almost 4% of it. Now, the Bitcoin ETFs hold about a total of 5.13%. So these guys are buying the crap out of Bitcoin. And also, watch this video real quick. Actually, on on this is from Altcoin Daily. Listen to
On
this.
September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. People listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says he'll fire anyone that buys it. Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying it.
His company is buying it.
It's just, I mean, so unethical.
On September 12th.
Listen. Do not listen. Do not listen to what these guys are saying. Literally, like I'm not joking. Don't listen to what they're saying. Go do your own research. Buy yourself $250 worth of Bitcoin. Go do your own research. And if once you understand Bitcoin, start buying some more of it. Like, don't listen to what they have to say because they will trick you into selling your Bitcoin because they want it all. They do not want you to succeed. They want it all for themselves. Don't believe anything they're saying. They are all liars. All right. I'm not afraid to say that on camera. You know what? It is what it is. They are all liars. Okay. So listen, now, in terms of returns, right? Just last year alone, right? We've had an average return of 134%, right? The last 5 years, it's been 50%, and the last 10 years has been about 66%. So nobody knows what, nobody knows the average return of Bitcoin the next like 20 to 30 years. Nobody knows. I mean, it could be 100% because only 2% of the population currently invests in Bitcoin. So like it's still very early. And it could be 70% a year. It could be 40% a year. It could be 30% a year. Nobody knows. But let's say, for example, you had a decent amount of money and you wanted to buy 0.1 Bitcoin, which would cost you about $9,000 right now, right? If you were to put $9,000 for the next, and you held it, you put $9,000 into Bitcoin, you just go like this and you hold it for the next 20 years. If Bitcoin was to give you an average return of 30% for the next 20 years, and you never put a dime in it again, you would have a return of $1.7 million. So that's not too bad. All right. If you had a whole Bitcoin for, let's say, $93,000 right now, at an average return of 30% a year for the next 20 years, this is what you would have. Okay. If you only had $1,000 in there, for $1,000 and you held it for the next 20 years at a 30% return rate, that's what it will give you. So don't focus so much on the dollar amount of Bitcoin that you can accumulate. Just focus on the quantity of Bitcoin that you can accumulate. So if you can buy 0.1 Bitcoin, man, just buy that thing, put it somewhere safe, and just wait. If you can buy every single day, go for it, man. Every day I buy $5 of Bitcoin. Every single day I buy $5. That's just my thing that I've been doing. And if you can do it too, man, yo, go for it. And also, like, listen, I know the price of Bitcoin has been crashing for the past, well, not crashing. I mean, people are freaking out because we dropped like 5% the past 5 days. They're like, oh my God, I knew it. Bitcoin is a scam. But like, look at this. If you cannot zoom out, look at how we came from, like, in 2016 we were at 400 $500. Like, people were buying here saying, oh my God, we've hit the max, this is it, and like, people were saying that, oh my God, this is a scam right here. And people who held from December 17 all the way to 2021, they've made a lot of money. And if you held to the entire thing, like, you would have been lit. This is not a short-term investment. This is a long-term investment. This gives you the opportunity to actually give your family a chance for financial freedom. Because let me show you something. If you were to look at those two charts, right? If you were to look at this chart right here, so look at the chart of Bitcoin, right? Look at this. Yes, we go up and down, up and down, up and down, but eventually we're going up, right? But also, look at this chart. You're going up and down, up and down, up and down, but look at the trend. Do you want to invest? I mean, do you want to leave your money in this, or do you want to leave your money in this? I mean, let's be honest. Like, where do you want to leave your money? Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but it looks pretty clear to me. I'm not leaving my money in. I mean, the only money that I'll have like in the US, in US dollar, is like an emergency fund. Like, that's the only money I'll have. Like, if it, like, my 3 to 6 months. Once I have my 3 to 6 months emergency saving, I don't hold any more cash. Like, that's it. Like, I don't save in cash anymore. And eventually, I think all my money is going to be into Bitcoin, honestly. Like, I won't hold any more cash. Eventually, at some point in the future, I think we will transition to Bitcoin. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but like, yeah, until you read those books, you probably will think that it is a scam. And I don't blame you. Yeah, I will. I understand why people do, because I was one of them. I was one of them. And honestly, every single time you get the chance to buy the dip, buy the freaking dip. Just buy. Like, I set an alert at $73,000, because of, if you look closely, you see those two double tops right here, bing, right here and right here. So I told myself, hey, if Bitcoin ever drops to like the $75,000 level, 75 to 73,000 level, I'm selling my wife. I'm just kidding. Don't tell her I said that. But like, I'm dropping a bag. I'm gonna find something to sell in this house. I'm selling something and I'm buying. Like, I'm gonna try to find some extra cash. If I have anything laying around that I don't need, yeah, I'm buying. Yeah, I'm buying. Yeah, I I I think everybody needs to get their hands on Bitcoin. Everybody should, because people don't zoom out to see what you see. Just like back in like back in 2016, right? If you zoom into this, look at this. You see how, when the price was like let's say $1,000, right? The price was $1,000, went all the way up to like, $5,000, and then it sold off. Everybody right there was like, "Oh my God, we've reached the peak. We've reached the peak." Bro, look how insignificant $5,000 is right now. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. Hold on. Look how insignificant this is. Like, $5,000 is like, it's like, it feels like nothing. But back then it was a big deal. Now, the next 20 years, the next 30 years, eventually $100,000 Bitcoin is gonna look like this. The graph, like, literally, this is going to be flat, and then you're gonna see a price of $1 million eventually in the next 10 years, 10 to 20 years. So buy some Bitcoin, hold it, don't listen to anybody, just buy what you can afford. Buy Buy. Don't focus on buying a. Just focus on buying a percentage of the supply. I want you to focus on a certain numbers. Focus on zero. If you can afford, listen, if you cannot afford 1 Bitcoin, buy 0.1 Bitcoin. If you cannot afford 0.1 Bitcoin, buy 0.01 Bitcoin. And if you cannot afford 0.01 Bitcoin, buy 0.0025 Bitcoin. Just focus on the amount of Bitcoin that you can buy, not the dollar amount. Don't get tricked by this fake money. Because listen, if you do not get yourself a piece of this pie, I promise you, you're going to be